Oh, did you hear Tim just grunt right over the whole goddamn intro thing?
Trying to beatbox, bro.
Sounds good.
Trying to go from sweet nothings to.
That's right. Welcome to episode 3 of Devil's Dice Podcast. We're here with the incomparable Jake Loggins from the Jake Loggins Band, from Lobo Loggins' son, from Justin Loggins' brother to
all that.
So, whole lot of places that you're from. So welcome, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Good
Thanks for having
you.
me, man. It's great.
Welcome back to Colorado. Shit.
That's what's up.
You took off forever.
Yeah, I was gone for like 7 years, trying to do my husband thing.
But you did, man.
Okay,
you made a huge life change and went out and started making a shit ton of money, and now I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah. Shit ton of money. That's all relative, right?
Right.
To perspective. Yeah, man. Was out there for 7 years.
How'd you like it? Where were you?
I was in Sandy. I was about 15 minutes south of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Like downtown.
Yeah.
Proper, I guess, is what they call it.
Do they have accents out there?
Nah. It's just very Caucasian.
So it's proper.
Yeah, proper. Like it's very. It's a big. It's a different area. I'm glad to be home.
Yeah.
7 years out there. I mean, I met some cool people. I made like 3 friends in the 7 years I was there.
3 friends.
Whole friends.
Sounds like me. It takes me a decade to make one.
So Mike didn't tell you I was black, did he?
He did.
Oh, did
he did. He didn't have to. I watched the first 2 episodes.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Do I seem uncomfortable?
No.
Where's my wallet?
Just wait. It gets worse.
It gets way worse. Way worse.
It might get really uncomfortable here in a few.
That's fine.
That's okay.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. We can make it happen. But coming home I had made that choice that we were going to come back anyways. Just because kind of isolated out there. You don't have your friends. You don't have your family. You don't have my bandmates, my music fam. My wife has family out here. My dad lives out here. So it was just imperative. It was. Oh shit! It's imperative.
Yeah. It's not as cool as it looks, man. This is a janky ass show, bro. This whole thing could fall off right at any moment.
At any point, I could just dramatic sound effects. Just take everything.
Everybody just goes like that. Yeah, it could fall apart all in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and this thing's only like 700 pounds, so
cool.
Watch your knees.
Yeah. Gotcha. I like them where they're at anyway.
We don't have insurance, bro.
No, we were just talking about it. We have really bad insurance. We have insurance. It's just really bad.
We may as well not have insurance. The shit we have. So.
Yeah, it's almost worth just paying the fine for not having your family insurance.
Shout out to Prescott. Thank you for that.
Well, I think we just picked the wrong tier. They have different tiers that we could pick, and I was like, that's like $35 a month. I'll take that.
That's the one I want. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Give it to me. I never have problems, and then I got insurance, and I have all kinds of problems. That I didn't have before. So I think that's mentally like what they do to you. They're like, sign up for it, and then your whole body just starts breaking down.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's
exactly
exactly
like you told me stop going to the doctor.
That's
same thing. Stop going to the doctor.
Yeah, I told Tim I don't go to the doctor because I always find out something's wrong.
Oh yeah, I don't either. I don't go to the dentist. I don't go to the doctor. I don't go to any of them, man. I'm just like, hey, if they fall out or fall off, man, I'll just deal with it.
Eat ice cream, bro.
Take care of it when it's all gone.
Well, my brothers always made fun of me because I've always anytime anything's wrong, for some reason I'm just like, just drink water. So that's what I tell my kids. The kids are like, my stomach hurts. Just drink some water.
Yeah.
I got a headache. Just drink some water. Broke my hand. Just drink a bunch of water.
You'll be okay.
Clean you out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pour water on it, then drink some.
Yeah.
Then rinse it.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Take a shower in the water. It's all healing properties.
Everything good happens around water.
Nectar of the gods, man. I'm weird about water. I'm weird about it. Not
like ocean water.
Oh, I feel like we cook with it, we drink it, we bathe in it, So it's like I like to have purified water. I like to have a whole home filter. I like to have
that's what's in there, by the way. Just
cool, awesome. I like RO water.
However, the ice cubes are fucking straight out of the tap. So
cool.
Nothing but metal particles.
Contaminated ice.
You got to have a balance. You got to have some heavy metals and some pesticides and stuff in your water, and you got to have some that good RO. You bring the what is it, electrolytes?
I don't know. I don't go to the doctor.
No, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Jim's about to spit coffee.
It's okay. That's all right. We just jumped right in here, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I feel like I've never been on a podcast before. And it's when you asked me, to come, I was just like, man, like everybody has like, a charity or a nonprofit or like a book or a TV series or a podcast that they're launching. So I don't have any of that stuff.
Something to promote.
But I'm working on it. I have some ideas, that I want to put together.
I'm done.
So I put it on silent. It was on quiet.
He's gonna get a towel.
I'm like, what is that hum?
Man.
Oh shit, I'm doing laundry. That's
So
right.
I actually do have a charity that I just started.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why is your face telling me you're full of shit?
It's called Save the Bees and Smoke Some Trees. Please. Donate now. # This is not a scam. For real.
Wait. Save the bees, smoke the trees.
Yeah.
Please.
Donate now. # This is not a scam. For real.
For real.
Yeah. And you can donate
amazing.
on a
Play this part of the video at 0.5 speed.
And we only take PayPal or Venmo.
No, I have a new I have a new payment.
Of course you do.
that I started with my tech investment company, and it's called Crypmo. Crypmo, yeah.
Crypmo.
And it sounds like it's kind of like what it sounds. What do you think it is?
Crypto money, whatever.
More money, yeah.
Basically, but what you do is you go on, you fill out, you put all your personal information on there, like your name, where you live, your net worth, and then we send a bunch of gang members to your house and steal all your shit. And then I get like 37% of the profit. So it's a great way to donate.
So it's like Crypmo. Yeah, it's Crypmo. You got Snoop Dogg doing the commercials for you. Only on the left side. Yeah, that's
so
a Crypmo side.
Donate today. It's a great cause.
I believe it. I'm already. Sign me up.
Or don't donate and you'll have some crypts at your door. I mean,
you're going to donate one way or another.
One way or another. Yeah, you ain't got a choice.
Oh shit!
And I'm thinking about starting a podcast.
I think I'm just going to give you this one so you don't send your boys to my house.
I know, man.
It's going to be FWP. First world problems. And
just white guy stuff.
Just first world problems. And what it's going to be is you tune in from 5:45 till 9 o'clock at night, Monday through Thursday. And it's not like there's not real dialogue. You just hear me and my daughter argue about the food she won't eat for dinner. And then eventually I just cave and make her a peanut butter and jelly right before she goes to bed.
Every episode.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
And then Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, you tune in from 11 to 11:30 and you just hear me yell obscenities at kids on Call of Duty until I get pissed off and rage quit. It's
dude,
it's going.
I think I'm just gonna have to.
Add me on Call of Duty, bro. I just want to sit in and listen.
I only got like 30 minutes, and I just lose it. Rage quit. Got like a pile of controllers next to the TV, just broken.
These are all like 8, 9-year-old kids that you're fucking.
Mom should have swallowed.
Hey man, you know what?
Their mom should have swallowed.
I tell you what, though, you will find out everything about your mom from an 8-year-old child online. You will.
They will dig in and find all your insecurities.
Yep, all of them.
Have you questioning everything about your life?
That's all the time we have for today.
You're 30 and playing
I didn't
video
talk about my book. I didn't even get to talk about my book that I'm writing.
You got a book now too.
I have a book, man. It's going to be called Without a Helmet. And it's going to be a fictional series about a guy named Blake Loggins.
Blake Loggins.
Yeah, he's got a tiny pecker and a world of ambition. And he learns all of life's lessons like the hard way. Right?
It's not
fictional.
the size, it's the ambition.
It's not
exactly.
the size
Just
of the
a world
pecker,
of
it's the
ambition.
And you know what? That'll be a great look. Dave Goggins. You said Dave, right?
Blake
Goggins. It's not the size, it's the ambition.
It's the ambition.
That's it.
Yeah, I like that. So we're actually launching that on my birthday on the 23rd. And it's going to be on a new streaming platform I just started. It's called Inaudible.
Inaudible.
And it's going to be just a bunch of audiobooks for deaf people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna take off.
I'm sure.
You get people to hear about
Towel, bro.
It's gonna blow up, bro.
Towel. Give me like a.
Tim, do you want to just go get something to eat,
bro.
man?
Yeah, I need to.
It's hot as
It's
fucking
hot.
here.
I got
I'm
these
sweating,
ideas,
bro.
and we gotta
I'm
get 'em out
crying,
here.
bro. It's like serial entrepreneur, innovator.
Y'all even heard about the TV series I'm coming up with? It's called Terminal Fists.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
Well, like, we got
no explanation
You've
needed.
heard of Paul Rudd, right?
Yes, Paul Rudd.
He's like the General Mills Sam Choice version of like Chris Pratt. But we got a guy named Paul Mudd, who's a Paul Rudd impersonator. I think they're actually.
Bro.
I think they might be like third cousins or something like that. But that's coming out, sometime.
That's amazing.
Well, it's about a guy.
I'm done, bro. I'm done. Could just hit the end button. Just.
He's a SEAL team trainer at SeaWorld. And
I can't do this anymore. Who invited this guy on here?
well, he decides to take jiu-jitsu at the age of 39. It's fictional. But every time he goes jiu-jitsu, he breaks his hands. Terminal fist.
It's you. It's
No,
you.
it's fictional.
It's you, though. It's based on your life.
That guy's name is Snake Loggins, or Poggins. I think it's Snake Poggins is his name. The character that Paul Mudd's going to play.
Snake, that's his nickname.
Snake Poggins.
Snake Poggins.
Yeah.
I can't breathe, bro.
The guy with two broken hands.
Yeah.
You weren't prepared for this fucking shit at all.
Seal,
were you?
seal
No.
trainer, right?
These are all ideas I've just had kicking around for a while.
Oh, man, you got me showing my gut on
man.
the podcast because I'm.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for all those things.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And there's your opening.
Oh, no.
There's your opening.
Oh, we're done.
Okay.
We're done.
So
Sorry, guys. I apologize about that.
Oh, dude.
the only question I had was, do you have anything new going on?
It's a great time to be me.
It's a great time to
a
be
lot
you.
of irons in the fire.
A lot of stuff going on, man.
Oh, man.
Woo. Okay.
Yep.
So
There's that.
I thought your brother was a comedian. 'Cause
I'm real excited about my book. I think it's going to go.
It's going to take off.
Yeah, we're going to have subtitles also for blind people.
NYTBS for sure, right? Subtitles for blind people.
right. Yeah, I caught
That's
that. I was like,
awesome. Yeah. New York Times
Audible
bestseller
books
list.
for deaf people, subtitles for blind people. It's a market that hasn't been tapped into yet.
And why not? Why not? Reach out for it. I mean, otherwise you're like
You
deafophobe.
miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's exactly right.
I think I had a coach tell me that one time.
man.
Yeah.
But music. Okay, I was going to say in all seriousness.
Okay.
But that's ridiculous.
Yep. No.
But you guys.
Don't be serious. Don't be serious.
So I met you through your brother, who is an actual stand-up comedian.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Justin is one of the funniest people I've ever met. I met him at HP. I worked with him at HP and used to go down and get his special creamer and his coffee and all that stuff every morning.
Oh, yeah, special creamer.
Yeah, he was a big advocate of starting your day off right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just had to cut coffee out, So
Why?
I just, trying to,
With all of the stuff going on and
I don't know. I just make these rash decisions, like split. Just,
you kind of do. You've been
Yeah.
as long as I've known you, you've just been like, you know what? I don't fucking do
coffee's
that
out.
anymore. I'm writing a book.
all
Coffee's
kinds of-
out, man.
Yeah, we're moving to Utah.
We're going.
No research, no scientific evidence, like nothing to back it up. Just, this is what's happening now, I'm learning.
And your old lady's just fine with it. She just follows you along.
It's mostly her ideas. I just execute them.
She just whispers in your ear at night, and you wake up with ideas in the morning.
Those sweet nothings. There it is.
Yeah. Tim Sweet Nothings over here.
Yeah.
I don't know your last name, Tim. What is it?
It's just
You
black.
can put
Tim.
it on crit
It's just,
mode.
it's just Black Tim Goggins. That's
Okay.
Tim Goggins.
I brought something for you,
Oh
man.
yeah, well, now that you're giving us the gift, there's
you
your
get to open
shirt.
yours, yeah.
There's your Devil's Dice podcast T-shirt.
I'm going to wear this all the time.
I think you should.
I am.
Because this not to say that this is bad. This is excellent.
I had
as
a
well.
really hard. So I got you guys this. I got
yes.
y'all this
Oh,
right
that's
here.
dope,
This is,
man.
Yeah, this is vintage.
That is
vintage.
It
yeah,
is
this
vintage.
is before I had the part cut in my hair.
The hard part.
Yeah, I don't have that anymore. anymore. This is before I could afford haircuts.
Frankie's Bar and Grill.
Yeah, my wife used to cut my hair, I think.
Oh, look at he signed it for us too.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, we're putting that up.
Yeah.
We've got to have you back though because we're getting a tapestry that was supposed to be here yesterday. I'm gonna put this right up here.
Nice.
Let me see if I can. Man. I don't know if it'll stay.
Yeah, it won't.
We'll figure something out.
That's cool, man.
Nope.
Don't worry about it. Well,
there it is.
Nailed
That's
it.
fine.
Nailed it. You can see it right here.
You can see
Zoom
your
in.
elbow.
So, no, thank you very much for the shirt. I love it, man. I've been collecting cool shirts. Lately, that's kind of like my thing, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
We knew that. That's why we got that for you.
Thank you.
I mean, this is pretty obvious.
It's my color too, though.
Yeah.
It's my color. I wear the slimming colors.
I'll expect to see a poster with you in the Devil's Dice podcast.
You got it.
At some point.
You got it. We'll get it just life size. We'll get a whole cardboard cutout back here behind Black Tim, Goggins.
Are you gigging? Are you gigging now? Are you still gigging? Or
So
no?
actually, I'm doing minimal, man. One thing I realized, I was doing about 250, 300 shows a year for, I don't know how long, 15 years, 16 years.
Yeah.
And, cake every day even gets old. If you love cake and you eat cake every day, sometimes you're like, gosh, can I get like a.
I love you, babe. You're fine. This has nothing to do with you. He's completely wrong. I love cake.
It's just something that, for me, I like eclairs, but if I have eclairs every single day, I'm gonna ask for some cake. At some point. Sure. So I got pretty burnt out with the music thing, and it's not just like the act of like. Everybody thinks, oh, like music, you're playing music and you get to go be in front of people and you get to, do what you love. It's your passion. And, I make a lot of guitar faces. So people immediately assume that is like my passion, but that's the way my face looks whenever I play. We'll talk about why that happens later. But in all reality, I burned myself out at the same time and decided to go back to school at 28. Got on with Prescott's, I don't know, around 31, 32, and then moved out to Utah and took that position out there. Well, I went out there and started playing with the Christian Mills band and some guys out in Salt Lake City, and it was a cool opportunity to kind of reinvent myself musically. And this for the first time in my adult life, I got to play music on my terms. So it's like I wasn't like chasing a buck to pay the rent, to get the groceries, to take care of my family. I actually got to play on my own terms, and it was a blast. So coming back. That wasn't like a major focus. Like I'm going to book out and I want to play all these shows. It's like, I play about one show a month. Yeah. And it keeps it fresh. It keeps it interesting. It keeps me motivated. I get to sit down with my guys, in that month gap, and we get to write material. We get to find other material that we want to play. We get to, kind of be more creative with it instead of just, we never rehearsed before. We did 40 plus hours a week of music. So that kind of was our rehearsal, playing to like dead ass bars, bars, salt and pepper shakers and bar stools, and like the bouncer, like
that's all you get.
Yeah, exactly. So now we kind of get to be more creative with it and stuff. But I actually have a gig tonight at Front Range Barbecue. I'm sitting in with Blue Frog, Dylan Tiefer, who's actually on that poster. And some longtime friends, that I've known since I was like 16 or 17,
Yeah, you've been playing with some of the same guys. Is it Austin? Is that the young guy?
Austin Johnson, AJ.
I remember Austin when he was a kid, and he was like this prodigy that was a phenomenal guitar player. By the way, Jake Loggins is a blues guitar player, phenomenal vocalist. has gigged around. People in Colorado know who Jake is, obviously, just by the name. But yeah, Austin was like a little kid, and you even let Tynan come in and sit in on a jam night with you on the drums at one point when he was like, I think he was like 9 or 10 years old, something like that. So
that pops up on the Facebook memories from time to time. Oh man, look at little Ty, he's got those drumsticks.
So when you say you've collaborated with your guys, who are the guys in the band?
So long time, guy I've been in the trenches with forever. He started out as like my original drummer's drum tech, and then through some serendipitous events, he ended up running sound for us. And then through more events, like drummers not showing up, he had his drums in the car. He was a metal drummer. His name's Nick Smith, and he's my brother, man. And we have been through some adventures together, the world of music and driving all over the place and playing gigs and dealing with shady club owners and being in that volatile environment, because that's the canvas we get to paint on. We definitely have a lot of crazy stories, a lot of crazy things that happen when it's like cars breaking down or, people getting choked out unconscious, like on the dance floor in front of us. And
Nice. What bar was that at?
That was at the Hogan.
Oh, really?
At the Hogan. Yeah, Nate, my boy Nate Wickard actually tells this story all the time. But yeah, there was some guy that acted like he knew me. I had seen him around, but I didn't like know him. And we were on a set break, and he's, the Hogan's this big dome, you know, and he's standing over on the side, and I hear somebody go, Jake. And I turn around, and this guy's standing, like he's standing right behind this little Hispanic dude. And he looks at me and he goes, you better get this motherfucker. And I was like, what?
He's talking to you?
No, he's like, you better get this motherfucker. Like, I don't know, like telling me to get him away from him. I don't even know the guy that's yelling at me, much less the guy that's about to be victimized. But when I put my hands up, I'm like, what? And he just immediately steps over behind him and just locks him up and chokes him unconscious. I mean, this guy's feet are like dangling on the ground. He's asleep. He's going, I'm gonna get him. And he passed out. And then everybody's like, let him go. It's like a solid 30 seconds. He has this guy in this choke.
Jesus, a rear naked, like a legitimate.
Standing.
He knew what he was doing.
And the guy, like I said, the guy's just
he's ragdolled.
Yeah, and everybody's trying to punch the guy and let go of him.
Holy
he
shit.
finally lets go. And the guy hits his knees. Oh,
like that's what it sounded like.
he hits his knees, and then he hits his face on the table. Then he hits his face on the chair, and then he hits his face on the floor.
Not a good night for that.
Never got punched once, and gets up and is just leaking.
Oh
his
my
whole
God.
face is. Yeah,
I've had those nights before.
The Hogan.
I've had those nights before.
Dude, I mean, I've had them, I guess, but like I wasn't involved. I'm the whole time this is happening, I don't say shit. I'm like.
Are you playing music for it, like a Roadhouse type situation?
Go into Rocky Mountain Breakdown.
Bottles breaking on the cage next to you.
I've seen my dad do that at the Mill Hill Saloon.
Yeah,
because there's so many fights that break out there. He'd just break right out
through
in.
it.
Yeah, just Dukes of Hazzard. Just and there's fight, making
sound effects for it,
flying out the bar doors, that they have there.
The drummer's hitting on time. Just, in the pocket. This guy's fighting in the pocket, man.
Yeah, he is. Everybody's got a rhythm to him, right? There's a cadence.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Long story short, yeah, I'm back playing music. I love doing it. Got a show tonight. Got a show on the 10th of September. Belvedere Blues Festival down in Kansas City. Be playing with my dad. Nick
Lobo.
Smith. Yeah. Good old Lobo. And then Nick Smith will be there. Austin Johnson plays in the band now. He plays guitar. And Noel McFarlane, my old bass player, man.
Austin's a solid part of the band now.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. He kind of cut his teeth like coming out, to the jams and to the gigs and stuff, and then he really evolved into like having his own style and had his own influences. John Mayer and Derek Trucks and myself and this other guy Jeremy. He listened to all of us a lot and kind of picked and like made his own style, took some lessons from a really, really good player locally, Rob Landreth, I think, for a short amount of time, and just really has this awesome style, and there's a lot of me in his style as well.
I've always noticed that.
Yeah.
Always recognized that from the time he was a kid. So when you were playing with these guys back in the day, before you left Colorado, and then when you left, what were these guys doing? They were just kind of waiting on Jake to get back, or
The world doesn't stop for me.
Because you came back and it seemed like everybody just went, yeah, let's do it again. Let's go back.
I mean,
I'm still crying, bro. I'm like, my eyes are still watering.
I'm like, I'm over here like I feel sweat.
Oh my God, it's crazy. I'm finally starting to cool off.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I know.
No, they all continue doing their thing. Nick went on. He works over at a really good job, and he does audio video. Austin does a lot of construction and roofing. He actually roofed my my shed that I built in my backyard.
Nice.
About a month ago. Excellent at that. Noel is retired now, and he does his thing. So he plays like in a Metallica cover band called Diabolica.
Oh, nice.
Which is funny. He's like this huge, like bald black guy, and he's just like,
not what you'd expect.
I watched the videos. He's wearing like a Raiders jersey, and he's just smashing it.
That's amazing.
He just kills it, And he doesn't play with a pick, like a lot of metal bass players. So like he kind of does his thing.
Crip sign. The whole time.
Yep. Cripmo.
Yeah.
So how did you get them back in when you got back into town? And you called them up, said, let's do this, and everybody's on board.
I called them up, and I was like, hey man, like I'm coming back. I'm not doing a ton of gigs, but the ones that we do, we're gonna get paid well. I kind of like, I'm to the point where I get to kind of like just, I get to choose where we play.
Yeah.
You know, I've turned down a lot of gigs since I've been back. There are certain promoters and certain people like I just won't work for.
Yeah.
You know, and it's great to be able to tell them like, hey, you know, like with all due respect, like go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I have no interest in working with you.
Been there, done
or
that.
playing your club, you know. Because before I'd have to, you know, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I need, you know,
Yeah.
I need the money. I'd like to get on that rotation, you know. And
Yeah.
But now it's great, you know, because I work with, you know, Stargazers Theater and Event Center. They're down Pikes Peak and Printers Parkway, the old Colorado Music Hall.
Yeah.
The big dome building. Which, I mean, I grew up watching, like, Eric Johnson there. I saw Disturbed there, Seven Dust.
You saw Seven Dust there.
I saw Seven
Did you
Dust.
see us open for him?
I got there late because funny story. I worked at Best Buy and my boss wouldn't let me off.
Really?
But that day, their drummer, Monkey, like I think is his name, he had like the dreads, the blonde.
Yeah,
dreads.
yeah, yeah.
He came in and I knew who he was, and I was like, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" He's like, "Yeah, our PlayStation 1, I think that's back when PlayStation 1." He's like, "It broke in our bus."
I'm looking for an Atari. I heard they're pretty cool.
So he's like, "It broke in our bus, and we need to get a new one." And I was just like, "Your bus?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
I know who you are.
Yeah.
Man. I really want to come to your show tonight, but I got to work. You know, he's just like, "Well, I'll put you on the list."
Nice.
I hook him up, you know, and we talked briefly, and I got off late, and I lived pretty close to that area, and I drove by just to see if he actually put me on the list, you know.
Yeah.
And he did.
Nice.
He did. He put me on the list, but the show was over, so I saw them, but they were getting on their bus. That I
Oh,
sold
that's
them
a
the place.
bummer.
Yeah.
You missed the whole thing.
And I went back and quit the next day to Best Buy. I was like, "You son of a-"
You ruined my life.
Yeah, like that was one of my
Yeah.
bands, you know.
Yeah.
Like Kenny
Super cool guys. Those guys are all super cool. Everybody in that band is just
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
They're just high as hell all the time and just love life.
Can't knock that. That's
Yeah.
another reason I love being back in Colorado. You know, it's not a felony.
Do you partake then?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I feel like it. You know, I feel like it's a necessity in today's world, man.
It kind of,
is.
yeah. I don't disagree
Man,
with
you
you at all.
can't knock it. I can't partake. You know, I'm allergic to air now. So
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't know
Yeah.
what I can touch anymore. So you know, to be continued. But you know,
You've taken how many allergy tests in the last month?
Jeez, man, I'm telling you,
Take a COVID test,
Bro.
it'll just explode.
it just might at this point, man. I'm
Starts
telling you,
beeping, you gotta throw it in the yard.
Like, hey, let's ventilate him. Like,
Intubate.
Remdesivir this man right here.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
So are you old school? You smoke the flower? Are you into the dabs? Are you smoking out of the vape pipe or the vape stick?
You
or
know, I mean, I'm pretty old school, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
pretty
still
old
like the
school
flower?
with it, yeah.
are you twisting them or are you just
No,
loading it?
I'm lazy, man. I smoke the same way I fish. You know?
Yeah, it's just cast it out there.
Yeah, see what happens. You know?
Maybe, are you doing both at the same time? Is that why nothing's happening?
No, I catch a lot of, that's a big thing too, being back, is I go fit. My son, my 10-year-old boy Eli, is just obsessed with fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we fish every chance we get. We fished Friday night. At least one day or one night during the weekend, man. We make it a point to go out and fish. And if we don't catch anything, it's fine. But, you know, talking about allergies, man, he got a mosquito bite right here Friday night.
Yeah.
And, man, it has just taken over his face.
It's a hematoma now.
Well, like, I guess my wife looked it up. She told me this morning. She goes, yeah, I know what it is. It's called skeeter syndrome. And I said, where the fuck
Not
did it come
skeeter.
from?
Are you kidding me?
I was like, did this come from Texas?
Yeah,
Like, did the people that discovered this syndrome, were they from Texas? She's like, why? And I was like, because if it was in New York, it'd be mosquito syndrome.
Skeeter. Skeeter syndrome.
Yeah, anywhere else that's like swampy, Louisiana.
Hey
that's
man, I'm
probably-
from Mississippi, so I can validate that.
It's probably Louisiana syndrome.
Straight up, yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
skeeter.
skeeter syndrome.
Skeeter syndrome. Boy, you been in that trailer park again? Lie to me. Lie to me.
I could tell you got skeeter bites all over your face.
Yeah, skeeter syndrome right now.
So yeah, he's got topical. He just
No fucking peanut butter and jelly for you.
no,
You're
absolutely.
eating whatever dad makes.
That's right. 5:30 to 9 o'clock
5:30
Monday through
9 o'clock.
Thursday. FWP.
Hey, you know what? You know what, man? It's gonna be gross if you guys never experienced this. I don't care what you think; it works. It's just like growing up in the South when we used to get stung by a bee. So, grandparents who did tobacco and snuff the
Yep.
dipping, get a straw off of a broom, rub it on,
Yep.
pop a stinger out.
But what you mean with the spit?
Tobacco, yeah.
The spit.
Spit in the tobacco, yeah.
How the hell does that work? What does that have to do with
I
anything?
have
Something
no
that
clue, man. Something in that tobacco.
I've
just
had it done to me.
Pop it right
Yeah,
out.
He's
Yep.
absolutely 100% speaking Southern truth right now.
Yep.
It's,
Like, that
it
is-
works.
It works,
Dude,
man.
we even like I had
Yeah.
an aunt that smoked, and like she took like a cigarette, broke it open, like put it in your mouth, spit all over it.
Yep, and just plick.
Yeah.
So it's the tobacco. It's not
I
the
think
spit.
yeah, I
Might
think
be
it's
the
something in the
nicotine
tobacco. Yeah,
or-
something
Is there
in it.
another alternative to the spit, or is it just it's the combination
I
of
don't
the two?
know, man. I don't
Actually,
know.
I don't
makes
think
it work?
anybody knows.
Yeah.
I think that's just how
That's
it's
just the
been
thing.
I
Yeah.
think
since the
maybe it's
beginning of
because no
time.
one's questioned it. I think at some point
No
I would have
medical
said,
research.
do we have to spit on my head, or
Yeah.
can we just?
If somebody
use
gets
some water
stung,
and
it's not like,
tobacco?
okay, look, we're going to do a blind study on this sting on your face. We're going to try it with water, Coca-Cola, and spit. We're going to see what reacts the best.
The water.
It's. But I'm just saying, like how
get
did
3
someone
kids?
find that out?
You can
I
get
don't
3
know.
kids. You can be like,
Yeah.
Jerry, Earl, and Fred. Go fuck with that beehive over there.
I want y'all to go to that Skeeter trailer park and go get bit
Sharon
real quick.
and Barbara, get your Coke and your water and your cigarettes ready. And then you do the blind study.
Uncle. Jesus Christ.
That's what it's. I mean, that's redneck blind
Oh,
study.
dude.
That's
Yeah.
how that's how redneck blind
Yeah.
study.
That's it. What other Southern cures do you know?
Oh, dude.
You got some?
Man,
You got some Southern?
water and flour. Yep, water and
Just
flour,
water.
just flour. Like mixing flour. Like anytime you had a stomach ache,
Okay.
just basically get some water, flour, chug it back. It basically turns like it into a dough, sucks up everything in your stomach. If you didn't have a Coca-Cola,
I'm gonna have to take it on my
Yeah.
phone, man.
Yeah.
Sucks up the ache.
whatever
up the ache in
whatever
your
the ache
stomach.
is,
Whatever
yep.
ails you.
Yeah, I was told white people just talk about milk
Yep.
that way. The
Yeah,
milk does that for
yeah,
your
they-
for
yeah.
upset stomach.
Yep.
Just kind of coats the stomach or
I
something.
always
But
thought it
you're,
was ginger ale.
you're
Yeah,
making
ginger ale was another
My
one.
wife was
Yeah,
like,
crackers
my
and
mom-
ginger ale for
my mom was
diarrhea.
like ginger ale or 7-Up or something like
Yep.
that. You know, help you with your stomach.
but not Tim. Not Tim.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
making a loaf of ache in there.
Yeah,
and some-
yeah. Oh man, let me tell you something. When I grew up, man, I don't care what you were sick from. Cod liver oil was the answer for everything.
Really?
My dad had this thing called
Everything.
barley green. It was terrible.
Yeah.
That was the worst part about getting sick in my house, is that my dad would make you a glass of barley green and make you drink it. Like that was the worst part, but it worked somehow. It was like this dust. He'd like open it, like green dust comes out of it, and he'd put it in the. And you're just watching, like, oh, God,
Yeah.
Could
Like,
you get a
yo,
smaller glass? Could I get a smaller glass of it?
It's like Scarecrow
Bro,
on
hey,
Batman. He
oh,
just
that's so bad.
man,
it's like a
that's,
nightmare. Yeah.
that's how it was, man. The cod liver oil, it was like a deep brown bottle with a black little cap, and if they ever pulled it out and had a spoon, you were just like,
over.
"Man, come on, man. Do I really have to? I don't even feel sick anymore.
Yeah.
You gonna take it now?
Yeah, that's
And I'm
why
like,
it works. That's
yep.
why, I don't need it.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
I'd ask him, like, just take me to the hospital. I'll get a shot. You know, like, look,
know.
just a shot. Just- I'll take the injection.
Cut off the arm.
Yep.
Just cut it off. We don't need to drink this shit. Let's just take it off.
Well, I found this out too,
Amputate.
man. A lot of I guess I thought this was a universal United States known thing, but hottie toddy was like the old school Theraflu.
Oh yeah, no, everybody knows
Yeah,
about the hot
well,
toddy.
apparently not.
You
'Cause
call it a hottie toddy.
Yeah, that's what we call it, a hottie toddy. Yeah,
Not a hot toddy?
Mm-mm, hottie
Are you
toddy.
mixing hottie
Yeah.
karate with
Yeah, no, just hottie
Karate
toddy.
hottie?
Yep, some
did
tea. Yeah, tea, honey, peppermint, a squeeze of lemon, and
Yeah.
a shot of whiskey.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, whiskey. That's
Yeah.
the one. That's the all the
That
other
was
stuff.
that was the yeah. It was just basically just it was just like we're gonna make this look pretty so
gonna-
we don't go to jail for giving you whiskey as a kid. But
gonna make this look like a cure
just-
when
yeah.
in reality
Sweat.
it's
just whiskey. Yep,
sweating
sweat
and
that out.
dehydrated.
Yep.
Even though you're drinking fluids, you're just dehydrated. Your whole
Yeah,
body-
man.
constantly.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Just
I feel fine.
yeah.
You look
Yeah.
like shit, but
Yeah.
you feel fine.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's do this.
Telling you.
I don't feel nothing
I mean,
anymore.
I don't feel nothing.
Let's do this again.
I'm just tired.
I can't wait till I get sick again.
I'm trying to get COVID right now. Like, if I could use some time off. That's where I'm at. Golly.
I'd like to work remotely for about a week and a
Justin
half.
told me, he's like, I got COVID. And I was thinking, like, man, can you just send me some spit? Like, just
Wow, you got Skeeter syndrome again?
so jealous of him. He's like, God, I feel terrible. I'm like, but you're not working, man.
Have you had the COVID?
I'm pretty sure I have. I mean, yeah, I've never tested ever for it.
Doesn't, but when you thought you had it, how bad was it?
Oh, I mean, it sucked. It was actually like when we moved here, when like, I hate this term, like when Omicron was like running rampant or whatever. What do they say? On the rise, or
Yeah.
What are the terms they use for COVID? Rampaging. Omicron is rampaging again, and I guess I got it. I mean, we were pretty sick, and I was pretty sick, and we were moving and sold the house and bought a house, and a lot of stuff going on work wise,
Which is when you get sick, when you're stressed,
overloaded.
Yeah.
So I was I definitely felt like dog shit.
Low on spit.
Low on spit, high on frustration.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a huge discrepancy in
Skeeter
skills.
juice.
Skeeter. I had skeeter bumps all over me.
You're from the South then? Were you and your brother?
Yeah.
Where from?
Born in Southeast Texas.
okay.
Not too far from Louisiana. I always have a hard time telling people I'm born and raised in Jasper. I'm proud of where I'm from, but I'm also not super proud of where I'm from.
Why is that?
It's
I know.
Tim.
I know.
no, I
Trust
didn't
me.
look at him when I told him where I was from.
but I know.
Yeah. It was a great place to grow up, man. But it's infamous for a really bad racial event that happened. The dragging of James Byrd happened in Jasper, Texas.
Well, we're not going to get that serious.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
So what kind of shirt are you wearing?
Hey, would you like to open this and show the audience how great that shirt is?
No, he shows me.
I will.
Yeah.
He shows me before. He's like, you're going to get pulled from all the platforms if I take this shirt off. You know that, right? And I was like, I don't understand why. Well, he's got a shirt on it that's got a pretty interesting story.
It is.
But
It is.
yeah,
I was gonna say I got
some new ink.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. I got to go fishing Friday night. I woke up yesterday, went and rolled in the morning. Got my ass kicked as always.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. I didn't roll, and I rolled in the morning, but I then did the jiu-jitsu. But and then when got some work done, man. So
I want to see it. It's brand new.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, is he going to take his pants off? So here's see the shirt.
This is where it gets cut. This is where it gets pulled from all platforms.
It was nice. Thank you for being on the show.
So I just got.
Oh, nice.
Just got all this
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
done.
man.
That's just all the top part. Got kind of. I've had outline for quite a while on it.
You are a Fender fanboy. I'll tell you what.
Man. I should be getting
You should be
endorsed.
sponsored. Yeah.
Yeah, I should be getting endorsed for it.
Bad. Who does your ink?
So this is my brother-in-law, Jimmy. I'll show you too.
Your brother?
yeah.
You have
I'm
a
not gonna leave you
brother-in-law
out.
who does tattoos?
I got you, man. Oh, no, that's dope. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Jimmy Gordon works over at Glory Badges. He's actually the one that gave me this shirt because I saw him wearing it and I was just like, I kind of knew. I was like, man,
You knew the history behind it.
I was like, that has to be what I think it is. So I asked him, I was like, yo, what's up with the bolts on this shirt, the NASA shirt? And he was just like, oh, his buddy Josh Harless, who's like a international ranked distance shooter, the Harless family. They're here in the Springs.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, at the gun works and stuff, and they do all kind of custom rifling and stuff like that. But he made this shirt, and Jimmy told me, he's like, how that Nazi, Werner von Braun, was the rocket scientist and didn't really get prosecuted during the Nuremberg trials, and only 7 Nazis out of the 3,000 or whatever did. And I was just like, that's witty. I like that.
It's your kind of sense of humor.
Yeah.
By no way are you advocating the Nazi lifestyle.
No, by no means. But I do think, I don't know. I'm a big history fan. I love history. I spend a ton of time in my car. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I listen to a lot of, podcasts. And I really got into, pre and post World War II history.
Yeah.
And so, I get what this is about. And it definitely isn't a nod to the SS or the Bolts or that culture or anything, racist or, in that capacity whatsoever. It's strictly kind of just about history. It's like, know your history. Know that NASA was successful getting to the moon because of Werner von Braun.
Right.
And he was in the SS. He was a Nazi, and we brought him here, as well as, thousands of other people that helped develop the CIA and all these covert, programs. And back in the day, it was, you were a tinfoil hat guy, if you talked about this kind of stuff, but it's all declassified now. It's all, the Alan Dulles and Sidney Gottlieb era of the CIA, was crazy. They were doing all these LSD experiments and
beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff that you can't even, Thankfully, a lot of it is coming out now. It's crazy where we're at in this time because a lot of things are coming out and becoming public, but at the same time, you can't talk about history. You can't watch some of the same television shows that you watched before people are offended by them.
It's weird how that works, right?
They
finally opened up with everything, and now it's like, hey, wait, that's too much.
Yeah. Don't talk about the basic shit that we were able to talk about.
Yeah, be careful.
As a father, it's disgusting. It's hard.
Constantly, I don't have to, I'm not like no one's gonna cancel me. You know, like, I'm not that big of a target. I'm like, get that son of a bitch.
Remember that one episode of Devil's Dice podcast that got shut down because there's fucking Nazi on it? And
it's funny. If I ever did like make it, this would be brought up,
right?
Just happened to Metallica right now and shit. You know, Stranger Things. They, you know, do this big tribute, and it's like cool, and everybody's, you know, all the, you know, millennials and Gen Z or whatever generation they are is finding about it, and they're like, oh, this guy rocks, you know, and they're like, but he's bad.
Right.
He did drugs.
Yeah. Remember?
He's a womanizer.
Go watch this one podcast that he did.
I bet he's wearing a shirt underneath that says something about the Nazis.
Yeah. Look at him with his blonde hair and his blue eyes and his mullet.
Kids running around with the skeeters.
Yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of history, and I like, you know, that specific area. You know, the whole time period of JFK, MLK, and RFK. You know, getting murdered is really an interesting time period in history for me too. You know, because that was the Allen Dulles, that was the Sidney Gottlieb, that was like, I think, the beginning of the CIA really like getting control over what's going on here, you know, and the control of information and being able to manipulate and kind of sculpt perception for people, you know, because gosh, it wasn't Sirhan Sirhan or Johnny Ray. I'm totally blanking right now. Who's the guy that shot JFK?
Oswald. Yeah.
So like, even, you know, he had no idea why he was being arrested. And then the reporter told him, and he goes, I'm being set up. I'm a patsy.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, you go through and you look at like an objective, you know, forensic, you know, gathering of all that evidence and that data. You know, there are certain time periods, you know, as well with Johnny Ray, as well as Sirhan, like 3-month time periods before those assassinations happened where there's no account for where they were or what they were doing. But the only thing that got them kind of like convicted or, you know, painted the picture that they were wrong was Sirhan's still in jail, you know, for the RFK shooting. Yeah. It was their diary.
Yep.
Their diary is what got them. And none of those people kept a diary.
Nope.
And a forensic handwriting expert went through and looked at this diary and looked at the terminology and looked at how it was written. And they said, this is like hypno-programmed writing.
Yeah,
Hands
okay.
Down.
Yeah. Nice.
Hands down, hypno-programmed. They're
Yeah.
they're in a trance because it's like JFK must die. JFK is going to die. I'm going to kill JFK. JFK.
It's like affirmations almost. Yeah.
And it's not like a regular entry.
Right.
You know? And that was Sirhan's diary. That was Johnny Ray's diary. And that was also Lee Harvey Oswald's diary.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, essentially they were able to paint the picture like this person was deranged. But for the 3 months before those assassinations happened, you know, at some point in time before those assassinations, there's a 3-month gap. And it's been said that 3-month gap is all you would need in order to, you know, hypno-program someone, you know, and all of them had handlers, especially like Sirhan. Sirhan had like this, they always said that she was a very attractive, athletically built, brown-haired girl that was seen with him everywhere.
Sorry.
Like
hey,
that?
no, I saw.
Oh.
Listen, he was complaining. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just, there's too much evidence to say, you know, like,
And
they did it.
It's pretty obvious to me and probably to most people that a lot of that still happens. Like, it's kind of funny how whatever agenda they have politically right now, that all of a sudden someone comes out like, okay, we want to get rid of guns. Now, Hank, go upstairs. If you guys could see this dog right now, it's hilarious. But you know, the gun thing. Okay, all of a sudden now all the news is reporting is mass shootings, which now they've determined is 3 people or more.
Yeah.
FBI raids Trump's place. Now all of a sudden there's a guy busted into the FBI. Like who consciously is going to run into the FBI and try to start shooting the place?
And what's crazy is, statistically speaking, firearms aren't even the number 1 killer in America anyway.
No.
On behalf of weapons.
No.
I'm pretty sure it's still knives.
Well, and not to mention that the fact that most of the killings by firearms are suicides.
Yeah.
And then but then that would bring up the mental health issue, and then you can't talk about that shit. So
I think in order to really kind of look at this and break it down, it's like we look at the scenario we're in right now and the filtering of information and the manipulation, you know, of the mindset, but it still goes back to this stupid. You know, I love this shirt, but like this stupid insignia on the shirt and what it represents. We were so afraid of people these Nazis going to Russia because Russia was the big giant threat. You know, the communists were big and bad. So we were so worried about them going to Russia that we just gave them all pardons and brought a lot of them over here. So that's also kind of the beginning of the CIA, because we were like, our government was so like fascinated with how Hitler was able to brainwash all these people and get them to do his dirty work.
And they still aren't.
So Mike and I talked about this a few months ago, man. You speaking my language. So let me backtrack. But the whole CIA thing, right? Don't come find me and kill me.
You're going to commit suicide.
Not that important just yet. Yeah.
They're like, what are you talking about? This isn't the pamphlet.
Yeah, this is part of the deal. It comes with the package. Get better insurance. But no, man. But just like conspiracy theory it wasn't a word, and they made that word basically
created by the government.
Yeah. Yes. So anybody who questioned anything that happened in the government, they'll hit you with that word,
right? And
you'll basically be ostracized, and they're like, okay.
Yeah,
we're not worried about you anymore. They think you're conspiracy theorist. You're a nut. You're a kook, right? Yep. Same thing with I read those diaries too. They said basically the way he spoke wasn't consistent. On top of that, he wasn't even good enough a shot to hit that shot that far away with a moving target. He could have never pulled that shot.
You're talking about Oswald.
The magic bullet theory is just ripped apart.
It's been ripped apart so many times. You know what I mean?
I mean, they found fragments. You know, the day after that. You know, we're in an opposite direction from where the shot had to have come from. Yep. You know, I mean, his wife had a giant piece of his skull like in her lap. You know, and then the autopsy, like no one was allowed to be there for the autopsy, and there had to be certain things that were written by the medical examiner. I mean, the whole thing with JFK is insane, but the RFK one is just as fascinating though, because Sirhan has no history of any political allegiance. He has no history of like owning or using a firearm. Mm-hmm. He's like this passive little guy, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, he just goes up and shoots RFK 7-8 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he got hit 6 times, but they found 8 bullets.
Yeah.
And all the shots and entry wounds were from behind RFK.
Yeah.
But Sirhan was standing in front of him. And then they also say that, I saw a flame come out of Sirhan's gun. It was like 10 inches long. And people started thinking about it. They're like, well, that means there's no obstruction.
Sounds like a blank.
You know? So it's like he had blanks.
Yeah.
And there were bullet holes in the ceiling, and that blonde-headed, athletic built lady was there, and they say that they'll have some sort of a word, like a trigger.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
That gets them like right into that trance, and then they just go and so be careful.
Yeah. And a lot of people say, "Oh,
so be careful." Just in case you guys don't listen to words,
and they don't. Anymore. It's too unbelievable. But I'm like, if you really think about it, right?
Inaudible.
That's but that's honestly, man. It's like that's basic training though.
Yeah,
it was like ground level basic training for military.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? It's the reprogramming,
dude. The fact
you get cut off from the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the fact that Lee Harvey was a defector that went to Russia and was like praised as this hero in Russia, and then was granted, the pardon or whatever to be able to come back to America, and had like some sort of he had a Russian wife at the time and all this stuff. It's just, nothing really correlates, because he did take a shot at one of the nominees for like Texas governor or something like that. He took a shot at him like previously, before the whole JFK thing supposedly went down. But I don't know. I feel like that time period in history can tell us so much about why we're where we're at right now, like as a culture and as a society, because they brought all these experts in manipulation and propaganda and painting perspective, to teach them how to do it. And they were able to do it with mathematical precision in the 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, now we got algorithms that are doing this stuff, that are manufacturing this outrage. They're manufacturing, like all these different, hot key terms, that set people off, and then also, the content that they feed you, it's like...
you're going to get what you want.
I don't imagine this podcast is going to be popping up on everyone's feed.
I know.
I'm just saying, because I mean, we're speaking some truth here.
Have you seen I don't know the correct name for it, but have you seen it's like the electrode test, where they put one guy on this side of the wall and another guy who's in the room, and they say, well, we're going to tell you to keep cranking up the voltage.
Okay.
And we'll let you know when to stop. No matter how much this guy screams, we'll let you know when to stop. And this one guy comes up, he's like, nah, I can't go anymore. This dude's screaming. What if he has a heart attack? What if he has a heart problem? These guys don't provide any medical like standings. Like, I'm not a MD in this. They just have a lab coat on. And all these people go in and they just start turning this dial based upon what this guy's telling them. But this one guy's like, nah, this dude might be dying, man. Like, I'm not. And it's like back in maybe 50s, 60s. You know what I mean?
Then. Well, they've done something like that recently, and I think it was in the last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
But there was a show about it where
Spider something.
I don't know. I can't. I don't think it was
There's
Spider
a new one
something.
with the guy that plays Thor.
No.
It's
Okay.
called Spider Brain or Spider.
No, so this one is it's got they set up a bunch of actors and they put this unknown person into a position where he's at a party on a rooftop, and suddenly there's a person that's blah blah blah, that's a bad guy supposedly or whatever the case may be, and now the unknown person, the person who knows nothing about this, the experiment, let's call him the experiment, the experiment guy, is put in a situation where he's going to be implicated in something that's going to ruin his life completely unless he pushes this guy off the fucking roof.
Oh shit!
Right?
Yeah.
And they're filming this. Every one of these actors has a hidden camera, and they're filming it, and they're really literally like talking to this guy, and they actually talk him into committing murder within an hour.
Yeah.
Within an hour.
Just the moral you know, the moral compass and like the level of obedience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it was shocking how easily, I mean, and it was clearly real because the initial reaction from this person was like, are you fucking crazy? No way. I'm out of here. I'm going to leave. And they
You're
literally
gonna go to jail.
Yeah. They literally were like, dude, this is not, and they're using women to talk to this guy and I'll have to find out what it is. God, if you guys remember, post a comment on the link, but it's insane. Like it
just shows that amount of control.
And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. You literally can threaten someone with just their own
the right
well-being.
thing. Yep, the right thing. Yep.
And boom, they're going to kill somebody for you.
When you've got people depending on you and family and kids, or even just a dog, someone or something that you love.
He's the only one that depends on me. Trust me.
Well, I'm saying like they can definitely like kind of use that. Anybody can use that against you. I mean that's a scary. It's a scary place to be, and you don't necessarily think about that when you're like, oh, I'm having a kid, it's all the beautiful and all the great things about it, but then you have to think that every scenario, every decision that you make from that point forward is going to involve you taking their well-being into account
and affect them in some way or another.
It's just like, because now it's not just me. Now it's like, there's other variables here, that are going to be affected, by these. And I think, not to bring up a crazy, faux pas bad thing to talk about, I know it's not here, but that vaccine.
No.
Like that was a big dilemma for me, and I'll come straight out and say, you
had to do it.
I had to do it. I wanted to provide for my family. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to do that. I was kind of painted into a corner, and I felt like the biggest sellout. I was mad at the lady that gave it to me.
Yeah, no, it's understandably.
Walgreens. I was like, you didn't do that right. She's like, what? I was like, you didn't aspirate.
What is aspirate?
Yeah, I was like, you don't know
this is government.
Yeah, I was like, you don't know what you're doing. And she's just like, you need to leave. Here's your receipt.
Draw the blood back. Draw the blood. Yeah. No, and honestly, I mean, I think that was a huge test. I don't necessarily think that it was necessary, right? Because obviously there's been tons of people that were of age or even older, or that had, a pre-existing condition that it did not affect the way that they were threatening it was going to in the, the scare tactics that they used. But I do believe it was necessary for the government to find out how we can manipulate, how many of these people can we get to do anything we want. And let's see how long we can get them to do it for.
Not only how can we get them to do it, but we go back to shaping perspective and propaganda, right? Yeah. How can we get other people to do it?
Oh, yeah.
How can we get other people to force them to do it? Because grandma doesn't want you around because you're not vaccinated.
And that's what it turned into.
Well, how many people were told? I was told constantly, you fucking want to kill people. You just want to kill people.
Yeah, labeling you as like you're already a murderer. You know what I mean? I'm like, what?
That was the unfortunate scenario that we were in. There were a lot of people that felt like, hey, I'm compassionate. I do love people. Here's the deal. For me, I don't have my heels dug in anywhere. I have no political or religious identity. Those are difficult conversations for me to have. However, when it directly affects you, and it's just like you're under threat of not being able to be a provider anymore.
Yeah.
You know, which I pride myself on finally being able to be a provider. It's like, man, we're finally, you know, not on government assistance. We're finally, you know, able to, you know, go on a vacation, you know, have some time to ourselves. You know, I finally bought a home for the first time in my life, you know, like stuff like that. And it's like all that is subject to just be wiped away, and all that progress can just be gone if I don't conform and just fall into line, you know. And it wasn't my employer that said, you have to go get it. They never once told me that. It's the facilities, you know, I work in healthcare. It's the facilities that say, no, you have to have this in order to come in and render the service that you do.
Right.
So my employer is like, you don't have to get it, but if you can't technically do the job we hired you to do, then we can't really have you, you know, here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't them forcing me into it at all. And it was a decision that I had to make, you know, for my wife and my, you know, my beautiful wife and my kids and stuff. And I did it. And man, I still don't feel good about it. I still don't feel good talking about it. But I mean, what's done is done. And I hope like in 10 years, it's like, okay, cool. We, you know, we made it out. We made it out of the danger zone here. You know?
Yeah, they did the same thing to my mom. We talked about a little bit about the surgeries, the elective surgeries, and how they weren't allowing elective surgeries. And Jake was talking about how he was really shocked at what qualifies as an elective surgery.
Yeah.
But they did that to my mom. My mom needed another back surgery, and she was not going to do it because I had talked her out. I was like, "Don't freaking do this. I don't care what they say. Here's the backside of the vaccine, and this is what's happening to some people, and blah 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 blah. It's not worth the risk. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
You're healthy. You're a healthy individual. You don't need it." But she couldn't get a surgery on her back until she had it, and they took her completely off the list and said, "Until you get it, you know, call us when you get it, basically, and we'll put you back on the list." And so she had to do it.
Well, you get it from both sides too. Like you get guilted from people like, you're not getting the vaccine. I had people tell me that I was very close. Oh, you're not getting the vaccine. Like, kind of made me feel bad about it. And then I had people on the other side of the spectrum that are like, oh, you're getting it. Like you know, almost like you bitch.
Yeah.
You know, like you totally like.
I was guilty of that.
I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to live, you know?
No, I was guilty of that. I told some people, you're fucking crazy.
Oh, it sucks. And it sucks to be the guy that's stuck in that, in that scenario.
Yeah, the neutral guy.
Like, I don't have like I don't have the freedom to just be like, yeah, hey, everybody go pound sand. I'm going to go live in the woods. Fuck you. You know, like I'm financially free. You know, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
Give me ivermectin, you know, like whatever. I didn't have that kind of freedom, you know, and looking at what, you know, the work that I put in, you know, not only with my marriage and my wife and my kids over the last 13 years, but, you know, building something over the last 7 years in Utah and using that as a springboard to get back home. I was like, I can't lose all of this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I can't lose all that I've all this effort and time and I mean stress, I mean the gray hair and having to go to the doctor and I'm dying, I think I'm dying. It's like, no, you're just overstressed, you know. Like I wasn't gonna, you know, sacrifice all that. But at the same time, like there was a part of me that was still like, yeah, fuck it, we're not doing that.
Yeah, well, because you're obviously a historian. This was played out by the book, according to history, on how to manipulate a society. I mean, you take away things from them, and
not only that, dude, but I mean, I was in the thick, like for 3 years, like even through COVID, like that was my time period in history that I was obsessed with.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? This is happening right now. And then I fucked up in early 2020, and I watched Utopia.
Oh God, yeah.
And then I found out Utopia was written in 73.
Right.
Yeah, that was a trippy show, bro. That show is trippy.
And then it's like they're not letting season 2 come out.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know too much.
Put the kibosh on it.
Telling you,
Sons of bitches, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, did what I had to do to get back home, and you know, through everything, just the fact that I try to analyze everything like down to the moment. You know, the fact that I'm sitting here, got to meet you, getting to hang with you. I get to see you on a regular basis up at the shop. I feel like we give a podcast to the whole department every time I fucking come
every day, every single time.
You know, so it's like just everything that has taken, you know, in the almost 39 years I've been on this planet to get to the point where I'm getting to sit down and have a conversation with, you know, two cool ass dudes, you know, and be doing it in Colorado and see all the progress that, you know, you've made, you know, with your family and your home and everything you've got going on. And I don't know you, but I'm sure you're doing great.
Good, man. Yeah. I'm getting there. Yeah.
So it's just everything that had to happen in order just for this conversation.
Yeah. Tim's crazy. Tim's got like he's one of those dudes that has to be like constantly doing something or he goes absolutely apeshit.
Man.
Yep.
So he's like a multi-business owner, a Lululemon ambassador. He's a massage therapist, a personal trainer.
Everything.
He's going to school at the same time while doing all of this, and then he's a nut.
How much blood pressure medication are you on? Like that's zero. You just drink water.
Drink water, bro.
It's
I
the
just drink the
flour,
water, bro.
and it takes
It's
all
the filtered
of it out.
water, bro.
Rub some tobacco on it, man.
I know.
Yeah.
That's right. Get
So
some spit.
I have
man.
mentioned my boy Eli. He's 10, and
Yeah, you got some good-looking kids too,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Oh my God, good
Yep.
thing you married a
that's
beautiful
what I'm
woman.
saying. They look like their mom.
He married up, dude. Serious,
Yeah.
like no kidding. We all were like, "What?"
Mike said good
No,
thing.
I'm just
Good thing.
No, hey, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I'm thankful all the time. I tell her, like, hey, thanks for marrying down. Appreciate that.
All the
'Cause
time.
I'm like not even cool anymore. I don't like play music, and I'm not like a miniature big deal.
Right.
Fish in a small pond. It's like, and you're still here. So.
Potential Nazi.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
And it gets edited again. I know. But yeah, we when we got out to Utah, it was a goal. I wanted to have another kid. And we have Anna. Little Anna, she's 6 years old, and she's the one I argue with about dinner every night. Last night was no exception.
I can't believe I haven't met her yet.
She's a nut, man. She's a nut. And got Brenna, obviously.
Yeah.
I got Brenna, she's 16 now, and
Wow.
she passed her driving test on Friday. We've already got her car, and they're all the two younger ones are starting school tomorrow, and then Brenna starts her junior year.
What'd you get, Brenna? What kind of car?
It's a 04 or 07 Scion TC, basically.
Okay.
It's like a Camry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my wife bought her a stick.
Hey, that's
Nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Yeah.
great, man. But like some people just like, what? Like, why would you do that? Because she doesn't have any, but it's a great, it's a great skill to have. She'll be the only
Yeah.
kid at her whole school.
It's a great skill to have. Nobody can borrow your car.
I was about to
you
say
can't
that.
be on the phone at the
Nope.
same time while
Nope.
you're driving a stick.
Nope.
I mean, that's just
Nope.
it's genius.
And if somebody tries to steal it, did you see? You see the video? I think it was last year. This guy. It was actually some kids. They tried to steal a woman's car. They hopped in and couldn't start it. It was just like
They didn't know to put you in the clutch.
They were like, they didn't know to put you in the clutch, and they were like, and then they jumped out and ran away.
Yeah.
I was like, that's perfect.
It's hilarious.
That's perfect, man. That's why I need one. Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to give a shout out to my fam.
Absolutely.
Like, while I was here,
Yeah, man.
My wife is killing it. She's a scrub tech. We put her back through school. While we were out in Utah.
Yeah.
Had a couple awesome experiences with a client, Moran Eye Center, and was actually able to go over to Tanzania and do some outreach with those guys. And then got to
How
bring
cool
my-
is that?
Oh, dude, crazy! Just vision restoration, like curable blindness. Amazing doctors. We went in. They go in 10 days earlier and they hit all the clinics. And my wife they don't hit all the clinics. They hit all the villages and do like a clinic and see who potentially has. Because, areas like that in Nepal, close to the equator, and there's also a lot of genetic reasons as to why people develop early cataracts.
Sure.
And my wife got to go and she got to go to all the villages and check out the clinics and, kind of be in the rural part of it. And then I usually come in and do about 10 days. It's about a day and a half, 2 days of travel there. And then we go and set up an OR in Dodoma. We fly into Arusha, drive 9 hours out to Dodoma, set up an OR, got to be a part of an amazing team. And then we do about 500 surgeries in a week. There's about eight surgeons. We set up all in the same room, and there's international residents, and there's doctors, surgeons from Nepal, and there's surgeons from Iran, and there are companies that donate the lenses and some of the equipment and the packs and all the stuff they need in order to do this. I mean, they do pediatric cases on little kids.
Wow. Is this like a
That's
Doctors
crazy,
Without
man.
Borders
Yeah,
type situation almost?
Kinda, yeah.
That actually is a really good place to donate if anyone feels like paying it forward to a cause like that. It's Moran Eye Center. I think you can just go to Moran Outreach, and they're based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. It's phenomenal.
What was your role in all of that?
So I was just the nerd that fixed stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So you were working on scopes for him and stuff
so
like that.
We set him up some surgical microscopes. And Lori McCoy, who actually is from Colorado Springs, who works out in Salt Lake, she said, "What would you think about coming with us?" And I was like, was like, oh yeah.
Not thinking it's going to come to
No,
fruition
I
at all.
called my boss right when I left, and I said, "Hey, man, they asked me to go to Africa with him." He's like, all right, cool. And I was just like, I don't want to go. Like, I'm scared to death. I'm scared. I've never been out of this country. You know, like I went to Germany when I was like 8 with my mom. You know, like I've never been anywhere except, you know, I'm safe in my bubble. He's just like, well, tough shit. They asked you to go, you got to go, and they paid for everything. So ended up going out there. I have an extreme fear of planes and flying.
Me too.
So 24 hours on a plane didn't sound super fun.
Not fun at all.
But
Put me out. Just put me out.
at the same time, like,
Elephant trank, man. Give it to me.
yeah.
Man, you know, I always like flights though, man. It's something subtle about just
There's nothing fucking subtle
to
about
me.
flying.
To me, when I'm gonna tell you something. When I get up there, as long as there's like not crazy turbulence, bro, I feel like I'm just like floating, and I sleep every single flight, the entire flight.
Nah.
I just
I don't
don't
know
feel
how.
like you have trust issues.
Yeah.
I have trust
Oh, I do
issues
too.
Yeah. I
with
just
everything.
Yep.
The taking off,
Yeah.
absolute nightmare. Landing, absolute nightmare. Any kind of turbulence at all, fuck everybody. I will kill everyone on this plane before we go down.
I'm the guy. I've had to apologize.
Just to make sure you don't go
everyone
alone,
around me.
right?
Trust me. This is not happening. I have got to be by the window, and it's not because I want to see my death. It's
Yeah.
because I want to know when we're actually going down, because I think they're going to lie to me on the internet. I need to know
I
what's
won't lie
going
though.
on.
When I was younger, man, and I first started flying, I always used to think to myself, I used to Google it actually. What is the price of a parachute? If this thing goes down, I'm kicking this door open and I'm jumping out.
Trust me, I've
Screw
thought
it.
about that too.
Yeah,
but
I'm like,
you have to.
screw it.
It has to be like that altitude
Yeah.
and that
They won't
speed.
let you on there with a
can't.
parachute.
Yep,
They're
no,
like,
they-
oh, this
yep,
is
yeah.
good for you. This is no, you can't have
No,
it.
you can't have it. Nope.
It's like, this is my one carry-on.
Tuck your head and kiss your ass goodbye, right? That's it.
That's my carry-on, my
that's
parachute.
my parachute. That's my only carry-on.
They won't let you have it.
Yeah.
I think there's probably something to do with the speed and the altitude of it.
Yeah.
Like my luck, I'd fly out, get sucked
just-
right to the tail, hit the freaking
Hit the wing,
disintegrate.
I'm breaking half.
Done.
Yeah, he's out disintegrate.
Yeah, just the friction of the air on my body. I just
Look at that torso coming down in a parachute from the just
even.
Mike's not. Yeah.
just
be
just
like-
bones. Just
I got no ass anymore.
gone.
I'm only a torso
Yep.
now.
I would disintegrate.
Yeah.
Get down. Nothing
Oh,
would even
man.
land. Nothing.
And
I
it's,
would just.
and it's the fact that you're okay. So the plane's going down. Now
Yeah.
I got to go through how many minutes of hell, knowing that I'm about
gonna
to
die. Yeah.
fucking
I'm
die.
about to die.
No, dude,
That's
There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, I just
Yep.
want to go like that.
Yep.
Just have it be done. But-
Yeah. I'm not about that life. I'm trying to live, man. I'm trying to live.
So what else you got going on? Anything else?
No, I'm doing my dad thing, my husband thing. I'm
Yeah.
fishing. I'm playing some music, doing jujitsu. That's like a big
Jiu-jitsu.
jujitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You're into it.
what all instruments do you play?
I play guitar. I mean, I grew up, pretty dorky. I'm still a total dork, still absolute dork. But I grew up, like, my first instrument was like violin. And I played French horn and kind of played everything I can get my hands on. But I mean, I just play guitar.
Yeah.
Just play guitar and sing now.
Just plays guitar.
Yeah.
He's super phenomenal at guitar.
Yeah.
And he sings pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
He's got one of those voices that it comes out of him and you're like, really?
What? Yeah,
I
what?
didn't know you were
Yeah.
that sexy. What?
That's nice.
That's kind of cool, dude.
I'll pay you later. Pay you later for saying that.
He's got the swag on the stage and everything.
Yeah,
Go
man.
check him out.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
haven't
for sure.
seen
Yeah,
Jake,
check him out. Yeah.
go check him out. You're playing tonight?
Yeah. Front Range Barbecue, 6 to 9 tonight, playing the Belvedere Blues Festival down in Canyon. 5:30, September 10th.
Yeah, so
Buddy
say,
Whittington's going to be there. I mean, that guy has played with Eric Clapton. He was the original blues breaker with John Mayhall back in the day. Played with everybody. He's the East Texas guy. My dad's going to be there, Lobo. Like I said, we'll have Noel, Austin, Nick, myself playing. And then September 16th, we're going to be at Stargazers Theater, and that's going to be a killer show. Brandon Henderson and Taylor Biscup are going to open up the show acoustic. And then Michael Hornbuckle and his band, phenomenal, just absolute shredder, monster musician out of Denver. One of my favorite people as well. He's going to come out and he's going to play. And then my band's going to get up, and then we'll probably all get up and do a big coup de grace, the last waltz, the band style, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Got to come check that out.
Yeah, you guys can find it on, if you Google his name, the next 3 shows will pop right up at the top. So
Cryptmo is on there too.
Yeah,
Just
Cryptmo.
put all your personal
Go down
information.
just a little bit. Yeah.
Just enter in all your pertinent information,
Inaudible.
social security number, date of birth, billing
All of it,
address.
all of
it. Well, dude, it's been absolutely phenomenal having you on. We got to have you on again.
We're done.
Yeah.
You're welcome anytime. Yeah. Do you have anything else?
He wants some more, man.
I just want to say, everybody's got their gyms, everybody's got places that they go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Monument Jiu-Jitsu and Tom Lynn Jr. I think he'd be a phenomenal guest one of these days. He's such a good guy. He's a great coach, great teacher, great person. And a lot of the killers up at Monument Jiu-Jitsu are a lot of fun, to be with. They kick my butt all the time.
It's a great gym. You got some great guys that are great players out of that gym.
Some savages.
I've watched them at many a tournament, so they're
Right.
good. I've even fought one of your guys. I went back in the white belt days.
Yeah. Well, I still want to come check out Combatives, and throw down some Muay Thai with you and Tyne. And,
Dude, you got to do it, man. Come down and get some striking in. I'll have your guy on, but I got to get Ken Gabrielson on first. I got to get my
belt, right? He's
dude. He was the first American black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Lived with the Gracies out in Brazil, and yeah.
Tom actually, is the one that I know you've told me that before, and then I mentioned that I asked Tom. I said, "Hey, I'm going on this podcast. I want to ask if it's okay if I mention the gym because I don't
Out of respect. Sure.
it's your gym. I don't want to misrepresent it. He's such a straight laced, awesome dude, and by no means, my language or my shirt or any of that, misrepresent it. So I wanted to make sure it was cool with him, and I told him who you were and Combatives, and talked about that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, Ken Gabrielson, he's like one of the first, ever, and coral belt and stuff." I was like, "Oh, dude, that's nuts."
Yeah, there was some controversy about it. There was a couple of two gentlemen that claimed they were the first, but Mr. Gracie himself has said and made an announcement on Facebook even that Ken Gabrielson was the first American
Killer.
black belt. Yeah, so he's a red belt. He's a red belt, but
Sick.
he wears a coral belt, but he's a red belt.
That's sick, man.
And just a phenomenal dude. Still a firefighter.
Nice.
He's got 3 boys that are all black belts by now. I think
Wow.
maybe one of them's still a brown belt, but yeah, they're all phenomenal. And jiu-jitsu is just a phenomenal sport.
It's such a journey, and it's your own journey. It can't be anybody else's journey. I really wanted to come on here. I mean, we'll have to do it again, but I really wanted to come on here and talk about, vulnerability, as a man, and insecurities and stuff like that. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that need someone to identify with.
Yeah.
And, being a musician, being in vulnerable positions on stage, leaning on your brothers, to help you not sound like shit, being vulnerable, playing, doing jujitsu, it's like you have to be okay with sucking at something. You have to be okay with putting your life in someone else's hands, for 6-minute round at a time.
Yeah.
Because if they just have a bad day and decide they're not going to you're either mangled or dead.
Well,
we lightly tap on it, man, about making sure that guys are okay being vulnerable and opening up.
It's a big one.
We'll tap on it, but we need to have that conversation.
It's a big
man.
one.
It needs,
I'm very insecure. I have an anxiety disorder. I deal with all the time. And certain tools and techniques that are helpful with that. Jiu-jitsu is definitely one of them.
It's definitely something that, I was a big advocate of not fighting on the ground for most of my career.
Saying so.
I did not.
I don't remember these days.
I just want to punch, kick. That's not fighting.
The shit out of everybody. That's right. That's all you wanted to do.
That's right. But I didn't really take, if you end up on the ground, sure, that's great, but that's another opportunity to strike, get in a position where you can strike and da-da-da-da. The art of jiu-jitsu really kind of escaped me until I decided to go, okay, I am going to, it kind of is fun to suck at something.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you're good at some shit and that's great, but it is kind of cool to not know how to do something and to go back in as a 4th degree black belt in another martial art, to go back in and be a white belt and have no knowledge and just be I'm in deep water right now.
Oh, dude.
And I don't know how to swim. So let's go. But it's done a lot for me as well. Other than the injuries, Jesus Christ, the lowest impact
terminal
fighting sport.
fists coming out in October.
That's right. Well, and you can even bring your guy down. Let's have him on. Let's have both of you on.
That'd be very cool.
And get you guys sitting down here together.
Dre or
anybody you want, man. Whoever's your favorite.
We should do this every weekend.
No pressure.
It's been a treat, man.
Absolutely.
I can't
Thank
believe
you
it's
for
already
coming.
done,
Make them
man.
a regular, man.
What is
That's
it?
right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Jake Loggins, everybody, make sure you go check him out. Listen to his music. Check him out. Be nice to him at the jiu-jitsu tournaments because he's probably hurt, so he's not rolling 100%.
No wrist locks.
Try not to fight at his shows.
That's right.
And get choked out.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll see you next weekend. Have a great one.